Discord's fight night. Apologies for the delay there, everyone. We had to one of the players didn't show up, so we had to just get it all
Pivot.
sorted out there. So we're back.
Pivot. Pivot.
Yes.
If you will.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
So we're still
to.
working out some of the technical difficulties there, but we figured we'd at least come back and so that way everyone knows what's going on at least. So yeah, this one's gonna be sweet. We're gonna have Dark Maverick versus Pest Control here, which I don't know if anyone's aware, but Glorious Wolfman here, he took the Pest Control, which is basically a blue-black control list relying on Sedgemoor Witch very heavily to generate a ton of pests. Oh my god, this deck is sweet. So it's got the 4 copies of Sedgemoor Witch, and then other than that, it's basically just a Dimir control package. But it really, really leverages the power of Sedgemoor Witch super, super hard.
This is sweet, right? So Prez, I was putting together I had worked, pretty hard on a Dimir control list.
Yeah.
And this is a way less crappy version of that, which was it was pretty bad. So I'm excited to see this. I already picked up my copies of Sedgemoor, which after looking at this deck list, just a couple hours ago. So
yeah,
I'm pretty excited to try this card out. To be honest, this looks really sweet.
Yeah, for sure. Of note there as well, there's some good sideboard cards here as well. In particular, Gate to Phyrexia plays so good with Sedgemoor Witch. It's nuts.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a really good, not to mention, it looks like it's going to be a really good matchup, because on the other side of the table, we've got Dark Maverick. But it's Dark Maverick with the Stoneforge Mom package built in, and the super spicy Scrib Ranger, which had basically been relegated to just the Selesnya, just the green-white Maverick. But I do know that Dukes on Twitch is a fan of the Scrib Ranger with the Stoneforge package. So
I could see that for sure. Definitely. I also really, really like Scrib Ranger and the Knight of the Reliquary Shell. Like, oh my goodness.
I'm a fan of Quirion Ranger, so Scrib Ranger is not that far off.
Yeah. That being said, it also being a flyer with protection from Delver is very relevant.
Yeah. Not an elf, though.
No. I just meant in Maverick shells in general.
Oh, I just mean not an elf, which makes it immediately inferior.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Doesn't matter what other text is on it.
I see. We're playing that game now.
Yeah, no, this looks like I'm curious to see how a Sedgemoor Witch deck plays out against a Swords to Plowshares deck, because I think you just take it.
I think that could be the case. The fact that the pests constantly come in and constantly gain you life, though, I think is very good. Like, every spell you cast gives you a blocker or even an attacker, right? Because these are 1/1 creatures that you're making for free every time you cast a spell, which in a control deck, especially one with cantrips like Legacy, oh my god.
Yeah, Digital Sloth, we don't talk about Plague Engineer. That's the first rule of Plague Engineer. I own a lot of copies of Plague Engineer for someone who dies so hard to Plague Engineer as frequently as I do.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone, but we are underway here with round 2 now. So we're immediately going to start off with a Wooded Foot or a Windswept Heath fetch into Basic Forest. And what are we casting off this Basic Forest? This is Noble Hierarch. Okay. I like this. I like this as well because Noble specifically doesn't tell your opponent anything about what deck you're on. This could
Yeah.
be so many different decks.
I feel like fetching the basic forest gives it away a little bit because there aren't a ton of decks that play that fetch basic forest on turn 1 for noble.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, in fact, I know is playing 1 basic forest currently, but I'm not sure as though that deck really can afford to ever fetch it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've seen it done before, but I totally get it, especially on turn 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so we're going to fire back with a preordain. Looks like it's going to be top. So that's good if you're on Glorious Wolfman's side.
Oh yeah. Beyond Sadistic asking us which flooded strand that is. That's the Zendikar Rising Expeditions.
Yes. I own exactly 1 copy of any of those cards, and it's a Wooded Foothills because I got it as a prize for a local box we did among friends. That the winner of the draft got a box topper, and it happened to have a fetch land in it. But otherwise, no, I don't own any of them.
The artwork for that is really pretty though.
It is
For the
pretty.
Wooded Foothills.
Yeah, I'm just the frames are
Oh,
very jarring. Frames are
I
very jarring.
like it getting in for 1 with the Noble Hierarch.
Yes, I do agree. That is again a ZNR prismatic vista.
And we've got the Secret Lair Baleful Strix for
Yep.
Glorious
Ooh,
Wolfman.
8-pack Graveyard Swamp. I love this. Oh my goodness. And I think that's actually a Euro Island too.
Yeah,
Glorious
it is.
Wolfman, you got good taste in cards.
Yeah, those swamps are outrageously expensive right now too.
They're so pretty though.
Yeah, they are really nice.
Yeah. Draw a card off the Baleful Strix. Good card here. Of note though, Alec landing a Sylvan Library deck, especially against a control deck, is very good.
Yeah, I mean, this card can put in a ton of work in this matchup.
Yeah.
And it is, you know, your life total can be
pay
pressured
for
for
it.
sure with
Yeah.
the Sedgemore Witches and the Gurmag Anglers, but like you can pretty reliably take some cards off of this this Sylvan Library and feel all right about it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I like this a lot too. Okay, so
Playing around
this
days.
is a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure here. Is there actually days in the list? There is no days in Wolfman's control list. However, there's not necessarily saying that it has to be though.
Yeah, I see Flooded Strand though, and I just assume that there's going to be days in the list.
Yeah. There's the
And
Sedgemore Witch.
okay, so for those of you that aren't familiar with Sedgemore Witch, it is 2 and a black for a 3/2 creature human warlock with menace.
Menace is big too.
It has a new keyword ability, Ward, and Ward says, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays 3 life. And
Very
it
good.
the, having some insulation on the card is really good.
Yeah.
But then it also has Magecraft, which if you're not familiar with Magecraft at this point, look at some of the spice coming out of this Strixhaven here. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. So this card can put in some serious work. It's very impressive.
Yeah. It's like it's so good. And especially now as well, Umezawa's GTA. Okay, so if Wolfman has the ability, yeah, force a negation, so this is gonna make a pest, which is insane value on top of also exiling the Umezawa's GTA is very good. That's a
Yeah.
card you do not want to see here, especially given that the noble can attack.
This Sedgemore Witch do be having a lot of text though.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely does. Ponder. Cast Get a Pest. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Glorious Wolfman's deck is very pretty. The old border ponders, the extended art Sedgemoor witches, even the foil pest tokens.
Yeah. Oh, more of the graveyard swamps. I love it. Oh. Man, oh goodness. Sedgemoor Witch number 2. Oh no.
That's a lot of pressure.
This is a ton of pressure. And then we're going to Knight of the Reliquary, sacrifice a land here. What are we going to get? Horizon Canopy. Ooh.
I mean, drawing a card is not bad.
Yeah. So we're going to float a mana, get the Horizon Canopy, draw a card, trigger the Sylvan Library again.
Now, this is when you start having to be pretty conservative with your life. That's a lot of power and toughness on the other side of the board there.
That's the other thing too that Alec needs to be very concerned about here is any spell that Alec casts potentially is going to make 2 more pest tokens. Because in this case, when Glorious Wolfman's Force of Willing, like that's more than a 2-for-1, so to say, because that every time you force, yeah, you're trading in 2 cards for 2 pests. Like you're getting 2 creatures and countering their spell. Oh man, especially with this Plague Engineer.
Pest, right? I mean,
I would name Pest here, unless you're worried about the Death Touch.
But even then, the pest still enters the battlefield and dies immediately. Ooh. So you gain the life regardless.
Ugh. Maybe you just name Bird, so as that way the Death Touch goes away and you can start crashing in with a massive Knight. Because that Knight will be a 7/7.
Gonna name Pest.
Okay.
So we're gonna see Wolfman go up to 19 here.
Yeah. Then pass the turn.
Yeah, I see both sides of that, right? Because on the one hand, you're limiting a significant amount of blockers that can be made here for Wolfman. So you have to weigh what's more important, the life gain or the seemingly infinite blockers that can be produced.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that card in my life, the Japanese alt art Brainstorm Mystical Archive from Strixhaven.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I wonder what card that is. And then I looked at it and it's a brain covered in lightning. And I was like, oh, I bet you that's a Brainstorm.
I only know what natural order looks like, and that's because I bought 3.
Yeah. So looks like we have a cast a spell, make 2 pest tokens, trigger Revolt, and then push on the engineer immediately. Oh my goodness.
If Doc is in the chat, I did just open up. I was walking around Target waiting to get my vaccine at the store next door. And I bought a collector's booster and opened up a foil Village Rites, Japanese foil Village Rites.
Ooh.
Doc, really you say that about every deck.
That's true. Hey, Smashbot, how's it going today?
To be fair, though, you do own a lot of Magic cards.
Yeah. Man, this Sedgemoor Witch is just, oh my goodness, 23
so
life.
Much work.
Yeah. And then there's a Dryad Arbor. We're at 5 lands, Gaia's Cradle. So this is going to tap for 4 mana, the Gaia's Cradle. Sorry, 3 mana. Yep, my bad.
Don't challenge me on my Gaia's Cradle counting there.
Yeah, basically. I was just looking at the permanents up on top, and then I forgot that I can't count any specific one of them. Plague Engineer.
Another Plague Engineer.
Yeah, was going to try and force a negation, but doesn't quite work that way. Luckily, though, did have the Force of Will. Make 2 pests. Oh my gosh. The value. And that is both copies of Plague Engineer gone from Alec's deck now.
This game is very slowly crawling to be heavily in not even slowly. It started being slow a while ago, and now it's pretty significantly in Glorious Wolfman's favor, I think.
Yeah. Mr. Roboto, thank you very much for the follow. And Doc, in regards to talk you out of buying it, do it.
As they say, domo arigato, Mr. Roboto, for the follow.
Yeah. So it looks like we're floating mana. And okay, so this is going to be a questing beast. Smash
Beast?
for 4. I actually really like this because questing beast cannot be blocked by the bird or by the pests.
Yeah.
Now, Sedgemoor Witch can block it, but that being said, I'm pretty sure Alec would be more than happy to trade his questing beast for both of those Sedgemoor Witches.
I mean, that's a pretty good trade.
Oh, yeah. I would be super, super okay with that.
Casually trying to get Mia into the cat tree.
Yeah. I'm trying to do the funny thing. I don't really know what exactly either player wants here. Like, Wolfman's got one card in hand, and then, Alex still has a Sylvan Library online. There's a bunch of mana here. I imagine that Wolfman's probably just deep in the tank right now. Ooh, all out.
Charging in.
Huh. So, of note, the Sedgemoor Witches can only be blocked by the Dryad Arbor and the Questing Beast, because Sedgemoor Witch has Menace.
Yeah. So, Alec gonna take 6 here, go to 2.
Yeah.
And
Snapcaster Mage.
Targeting.
Oh my goodness, that's so good. Targets the Fatal Push that has Revolt because the Sedgemoor Witch died. Oh my goodness. That's very good. Oof. Yeah, down at 2 life. This is not where you want to be. And it looks like Alec is just gonna scoop it up. So wow, very impressive showing from specifically the power of Sedgemoor Witch there from Wolfman. Oh my goodness.
Smashbot, as I was saying about Sedgemoor Witch, Questing Beast also do be having a lot of text.
Yes, indeed.
If you've ever tried to Mazavith a Questing Beast and forgotten that it says you can't do that,
yeah.
You'd be in the same boat as me because I've done that.
Speaking from experience.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
I think that was the last time I was playing Mazavith in my mono blacklist too. I was like, this card sucks. And I took it out of there.
Yeah.
Okay. Pest Control, Glorious Wolfman, 2 Grafdigger's Cage in the sideboard, 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 Feed the Swarm, 1 Gate to Phyrexia, 1 Liliana's Triumph, 1 Null Rod, 2 Back to Basic, 2 Plague Engineer, 1 Mind Break Trap, 1 Venser Shaper Savant.
I love this sideboard a lot. I mentioned this before. Gate to Phyrexia is an absolute beast of a card in this deck because that you basically get to on upkeep destroy an artifact for functionally no cost because Sedgemoor Witch makes free creatures. That said, I don't know if it's worth bringing in. You did see that there's Numazau's GT, so you could suspect that this is a Stoneforge package in this Maverick deck. Even then, with only the 2 artifacts, I don't really know if it's really worth it.
Other
than that, I don't mind Grafdigger's Cage, honestly, or Back to Basics in this matchup.
Yeah, I think I agree. I do kind of like Feed the Swarm as well, just with how much work Sylvan Library put in. And that's really your way of dealing with it. But honestly, it might be better just dealing with it when it's trying to resolve. But
yeah, exactly. I think the other thing though too, in regards to the Grafdigger's Cage, would just be the Greensun Zeniths are turned off.
yeah, but
That said, it turns off your own Snapcaster mages too, so it might not be worth it.
and Dark
You never know.
Maverick already plays Gaddock Teague in the main, so shutting off the Green Suns, I mean, it is disruptive for sure if that's not something you were already planning on pursuing. But yeah, I don't know. I think
Yeah,
Grafdigger's Cage is hit or miss.
yeah.
So in Alec and the Inks sideboard, we've got 1 Path to Exile, 3 Thoughtseize, 2 Abrupt Decay, 1 Collector Oof, 3 Choke, 1 Sword of Fire and Ice, and 4 Leyline of the Void.
I like Abrupt Decays, largely because Abrupt Decay technically gets around the ward text, because ward says counter the spell.
Mm-hmm.
So if you Abrupt Decay, you can just not pay the life, have it counter it, and then Abrupt Decay still can't be countered. So
I'm curious if Alec in the Ink knows that, because that may not be a if that it says counter the spell, because it is still a new card, and we don't
yeah,
have Moto telling you if you did it right or not. So
yeah. Other than that, I think Choke is a good one to bring in as well.
yeah,
Unfortunately, it doesn't actually stop the engine part of the deck, which is the black side, but the blue side definitely does get shut off pretty hard.
yeah. The blue side is very powerful though, with the 3 Baleful Strix, the 3 Snapcaster Mages, the Brazen Borrower, and then every cantrip imaginable.
Yeah.
And if Glorious Wolfman didn't bring in the Feed the Swarms, which are chef's kiss.
Feed the Swarm's a good card. I agree.
Oh, that was one of the. I love the fact that they printed that.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming too. What is it? 27 years of not having any targeted enchantment removal in black.
Yeah, it was. It was a much welcome printing of a card.
Yeah. So back to the game here though. Looks like we got a Stoneforge Mystic coming down, grabbing the Umazawa's GT right away. And that's something that Wolfman's got to be worried about if this GT can get online quickly. If it can get online right away, then we're potentially going to have an issue.
Which Baleful Strix is a way of stopping it, at least in a very slow way.
Yeah. Even then, if I was in Alex's position, I would probably be more than happy to trade pretty much any creature that isn't a Knight of the Reliquary with that Strix and get 2 counters. Because getting the 2 counters will allow you to either shoot a Sedgemoor Witch or shoot a Snapcaster Mage or any other bird that comes down, anything like that. And looks like leaving the Stoneforge Mystic untapped, so this is going to get through the counter magic to land the GTA on board, which I really like. So we're going to fetch up Basic Island again. So this is completely playing into the choke plan, but at the same time, if Wolfman brought in the back to basics, then that's not bad either. So it looks like we're tapping 2 here. So it looks like we are not going to be end stepping the whatchamacallit. Oh, back to basics, cast Abrupt Decay. Okay. Sweet.
We did see the back to basics come in.
Yeah.
So that was a good call.
That was a I'm totally fine,
taking a turn off my
taking
plan.
a turn off to do that.
And a library.
Yeah.
Ooh, and the library resolves.
Oh. This is definitely where you want to be if you're in Maverick shoes.
That was nice though. And another back to basics.
Okay.
So we are
I think you have to do it. You have to do it, I think. It sucks, but
yeah, that definitely is quite rough. Oh, making sure.
Yeah, I'm certain the table spotter will catch them there. Yes, your basic forest is allowed to untap. Nothing else is.
So now we're looking for a black source and an abrupt decay,
Yeah.
which
Paying 4 life to get this here. Of note, if there is another basic, there is a basic plains and a second basic forest in this list. If we're able to get that and then equip this Stoneforge Mystic, I think Alec is still in not the worst position.
yeah, and there are a lot of ways to get that too, right?
Yeah. And also, if you're in Wolfman's position, 100%, I would recommend. Oh, we did find the other basic forest. Okay. So I would 100% block this. Actually, maybe you don't. Maybe you make them spend a counter killing the Baleful Strix.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I do like that actually.
Yeah, because that's the problem is that if you block, yes, you kill the Stoneforge Mystic, but at the same time they're off of white mana entirely. The other thing as well is that yeah, you can. Oh, not attacking.
Hmm.
That's I maybe I'm missing something, but I would be wanting like I don't imagine I can't imagine what Alec would have in hand that's worth protecting the Stoneforge for in exchange for 2 of those tokens or 2 charge counters on the GTA.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That being said, though, if this is an attack in and then a Brazen Borrower on the GTA, oh my god, that's a bad trade. Because you tap down those white lands in order to, or your wasteland and your scrubland to put that in. So, Sedgemoor Witch and Fatal Push. Ooh,
That feels bad now.
yeah. Now you really regret attacking or not attacking.
Well, Champagne and Chaotic Bear reacting to there being 2 different arts of Sylvan Library in the deck. I was just like, there were 2 different arts of Sylvan Library in the deck. I saw
Yeah,
Sylvan Library come down both games, and that's all I saw.
yeah. I'm one of those people. I don't care about the percentage points that I win or lose that way, but I just like having the same artwork because it makes the deck look pretty. But that's just me. Of note here, Wooded Foothills not able to grab basic plane.
I have 3 copies of Sylvan Library. 2 of
Yeah,
them are the same, and those are the ones I use in Legacy.
yeah. This Sedgemoor Witch now is just gonna be a humongous problem, though.
Yeah, Sedgemoor, which honestly, seeing it today is making me like this so much more.
Yeah.
Okay. Night is great, right? Being able to just
So
pod away the tapped lands for untapped lands feels so good.
yeah, I agree.
Well, it doesn't feel great. Sorry. I shouldn't say it feels so good. It's fine.
Yeah. And then yeah, just keeping track there. The Wooded Foothills was the land play for Alec that turn. Cannot also play the Dryad Arbor that turn, but just making sure that that gets communicated down and it is all fixed now and we are good to get back to watching this go off. And this Sedgemoor Witch can attack without fear here, given that it is a 3/2 with menace for 3 mana, which is a phenomenal rate on a creature, by the way, let alone having a pay 3 life in order to target it with any spells and also just puking out tokens all game long. Like, oh my goodness, the value of this card is absurd.
Yeah. It's just insane.
Yeah. Yeah, Alec needs an abrupt decay really bad here. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
That's bad. I 100% would hit the knight here. Being able to take all of your tapped out lands and then pod them away to other mana, I think
Yeah.
is a very, very worrisome proposition there. Because even then, with the Sylvan Library, yeah, you can find an abrupt decay. This Gurmag Angler is huge. You can find an abrupt decay for the back to basics, which that's the other thing too, is that Alec doesn't want to be spending the abrupt decay on a back to basics. He probably wants to hit a witch with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sedgemoor Pyromancer. Oh my god, that sounds disgusting.
What? Oh yeah, with
Sedgemoor and Young
yeah.
Pyromancer getting double the tokens. Oh my gosh. That is a
Yeah,
lot of extra
Alec gonna
bodies.
scoop it up there. Unfortunately,
Yeah, the value is too much being locked out by the back to basics there. Plus the other problem as well is the Gurmag Angler coming down. The Gurmag Angler alone puts Alec on a 2-turn clock. Although I think 5-3 actually no, Alec was just dead on the next attack.
yeah.
So anyway, that's gonna do it for round 2 there. Glorious Wolfman showing off the power of Sedgemoor Witch in a blue-black control shell in Legacy. Very, very powerful stuff. And then, you know, Dark Maverick coming in, still doing its stuff, but I just guess just getting buried underneath the Sedgemoor Witches, and then back to basics, just putting the game away. So
Yeah, Oinkster the Pig. I don't think it's that Dark Maverick is still not very good. I think Dark Maverick is a pretty good deck right now. I think Maverick in general is pretty good right now. I think Glorious Wolfman just had the plays there to really do it in both games, right?
yeah, I think this isn't a case of Dark Maverick being weak. I think it's just a case of Sedgemoor Witch being absolutely nuts.
Yeah, cards absolutely bananas.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, that was our round 2. We will be back here shortly for round 3. We will be back right away. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.